Litecoin is ready for $200 and I have a beautiful trade setup ready for you guys to get executed. What we can see over here on Litecoin is that we have a beautiful range like this. If we apply the range like this, we can see that we have beautiful pivots. Pivot number 1, pivot number 2, pivot number 3 and number 4 for the range low, and pivot number 5, which is our pivot for the range high. Besides these pivots, we can see that the quarterly level over here is getting respected beautiful as resistance, and that the mid-range has constantly been getting respected as resistance and support as well, and that the lower quarterly level has also been respected as resistance and as support every single time. So we have ourselves a high probability range, and if we apply the fixed range volume profile over here, we can see that we are currently breaking out above the value area high and above the point of control. The value area high and the point of control are beautifully aligning with the mid-range, and we know that as long as we are above the mid-range with a clean price action reclaim of that mid-range, that we should expand towards that range high untapped liquidity pool. We can also see that we have mitigated the range low liquidity pool once, and also over here we can see a few wicks beneath the range low liquidity pool to mitigate that liquidity and to absorb the sell and short pressure, which you can see by these huge wicks that were being created to the downside. After that second retest of the range low, we expand higher and we shift structure to the upside over here on the 4-hourly time frame. Now we zoom in closer to this local price action that we see over here. This is where things are about to get interesting, because if we move to the 1-hourly time frame, what can we see? We see a few fake break of structures. Fake break of structure number 1 over here, fake break of structure number 2 over here. What do these fake break of structures do? They induce people into opening up breakout long positions over here, or breakout long positions over here, or pullback long positions, right? And what do these people do? They open up these breakout long positions or pullback long positions, and where do they put their stops? They put their stops beneath the lows that brought us to those highs that we're putting in these fake breakout structures. So these breakout long positions are engineering liquidity beneath this low and beneath this low. Look how these fake breakout structures pushed us above the mid-range twice, deviation, go for that sales liquidity pool. Inside of that sales liquidity pool is where we are order pairing, is where the demand is coming into the market, and that demand has been leading to an impulse that did give us a valid shift in structure. Now, why is the shift in structure that I marked out in gold over here a valid one? Because this high over here that we break through is a significant high. Guru, why is this a significant high? Because this high brought us to a new low compared to this low and this low that brought us to that high. So because of that, it's a significant high to break. The highs that we broke over here and that we broke over here did not bring us to fresh lows compared to the lows that brought us to those highs. So those weren't significant highs to break. So this bullish liquidity sweep followed by this valid shift structure around that mid-range area, to me, is a bullish trigger to start looking for a long position. Now if we check out the 4-hourly time frame, what can we see? We can see that we have a bullish hour 4 fair value gap aligning right above this hour 4 bullish high probability order block. Why is it a high probability order block? Because liquidity was swept while the order block was being formed. It initiated an impulse that shifted structure, and we have a high probability bullish fair value gap aligning above the order block. The only thing that's missing is an inducement above the order block. Now if we check the 1-hourly time frame, what can we see? Is that we definitely have some beautiful confluence around this mid-range, because we have this breaker block aligning exactly with the mid-range level and inside of the bullish hour 1 fair value gap. Beautiful POI to start looking for longs. Invalidation is extremely clear. Beneath this low, it brought us to this high over here. So main POI is around that mid-range area. Why? Because this is where we have the breaker block, this is where we have the mid-range, and guys, don't forget about this bullish high probability hour 1 order block that we have over here. Potential area for a second entry point. So let's say that we start testing the mid-range. This is the first level to start laddering in limit long orders. Let's say we test this bullish order block over here, second area to start laddering in limit orders. They both have the same invalidation beneath this low over here. Now if you want to have a bit of a more aggressive approach, we can see that there's some liquidity resting beneath the opening of that hour 4 fair value gap over here as well. So we have some liquidity resting over here, and beneath that liquidity, is where we have a medium probability order block over here. So we basically have 3 different POIs. The setup could look something like this, where you're going to start letting in some limit orders with a clear invalidation, and then you have yourself a beautiful potential swing long setup on Litecoin. This is a free signal from me to you. I can't promise that this one plays out. Obviously, it's not financial advice, but it's a setup that I'm going to take myself. Usually, I only give the setups in our VIP channel, like we can see over here. But today, I'm feeling a bit generous, and we have been making some crazy gains and crazy profits in the VIP channel over the last few months and few weeks. So I bet that the VIP members don't mind if I share this signal for free in our YouTube channel. Then as our targets, guys, we can see that Litecoin has some untapped buy-side liquidity over here, a bearish weekly fair value gap over here around $170, and the top of this week that aligns above $200 seem like realistic swing long targets for Litecoin. This would offer us a beautiful potential RR trade. So is it worth the risk? Yes, I do think so. I think that if these orders get filled and if we do get a strong bounce and if Litecoin does pump towards our targets, let's say we only target the second take profit target from the first entry, that's an RR of 12.24, from the second entry that's an RR of 18.24, and from the third entry that's an RR of 45.47. Obviously, guys, use correct risk management. I'm only risking 1% of my trading portfolio on this trade setup. So if my stop loss gets hit on all 3 entry points, I only lose 1% of my trading balance. So if my trading account is worth $10,000, I'm only risking $100 in total on this trading balance. Okay, so make sure to use correct risk management. Make sure to first understand the setup. So I have my range, I have bullish price action, and I have a drawn liquidity towards the upside. All very important, and we obviously have swept some very important sell-side liquidity at first. If we also check the EMA confluence, guys, I think that this is aligning very well. On the 4-hourly time frame, they slowly start to align with our POI. On the 2-hourly time frame, we have beautiful alignment with our POI, and on the 1-hourly time frame, the EMAs are aligning very clean with our entry area. Let's hope that Litecoin can give us a bit of a quick flush to fill our entry points before hopefully reversing towards $200 plus.